So, think. Let's go through some of the dailies here. We're going to start with New Telegraph this morning. 80 killed as army drone bombs Kaduna village in error. So that was dominant across the dailies this morning. And you see Kaduna state government meets Islamic clerics, traditional rulers. Abbas mourns victims, demands probe of incident. Lots of S's there, isn't it? But I know several questions about all of these things. So it is here, and I'll just skip it because you see it in several other dailies this morning. And then at the bottom strip, you get to see FG resumes trial of suspected Boko Haram members. So that's one to see. It says, security, citizens' welfare, government's primary duty. Court convicts, sentences 4 Boko Haram financiers. You might want to go check the names if you think they'll name me. Terror financing, money laundering, disrupt democracy in West Africa. Paris. I remember all the time that, when they think of Boko Haram menace, and there were just several questions. You see Hiluxes all lined up in huge convoy. You see several things, and then people kept asking the basic questions. These vehicles coming through somewhere. What kind of vehicle are they using? Can we trace where the vehicle come from? How did they get the vehicle? Who's sponsoring them? Some of these things were just out there in the open. Now you thought the agencies would investigate and just follow the money. Look at the time the NSAS happened. It was easy for then CBN. They were able to track the accounts of so-called financiers of NSAS at the time in no time. And then it took us forever because they kept on telling us, we will name the sponsors, we will name the sponsors. We just never saw those things.
A certain consequence management.
It took, I think, was it UAE or so that named some Nigerians who were financing terrorism in the country. And even at that, it appeared as though we just glossed over it. Consequence management. That's New Telegraph.
Well, I have 2 here, and 2 of them are leading me very interesting.
You can't take 2 at the same time, though.
Yeah, that's torn for which for.
Okay.
But let's start with the leadership newspaper, and they have this one. That matter of the army's error. Anger as army bombs Kaduna villages. Page 4. Residents claim 80 killed, 50 injured. Was done in error. We were after terrorists, says General Officer Commanding. Governor Sani, Northern Elders demand probe. That wasn't a good one yesterday. None at all. All right, but let's move up just below the nameplate. Bank limits withdrawals to 10,000, 10K as cash scarcity bites harder.
Say what?
Yeah.
Which bank? Nigerian bank?
Nigerian banks, of course. So you want to go do and make a withdrawal? They tell
cash scarcity?
Strictly 10,000 naira.
What's going on?
I mean, we just last week we got the Supreme Court judgment that says the 2 notes.
Yo, this is not petrol. Banks should be careful.
Hold on. The 2 notes.
Don't hold this thing.
Are allowed to go hand in hand. I mean, go together as legal tender for an indefinite period.
So what's the challenge this time?
So the securities printing and minting company can come up and tell us what's going on. CBN, please tell us, why is there cash scarcity in the country? What's going on? So you get to page 7 for more details on that. Above the nameplate, another sad story. 38 abducted varsity students still with the bandits. In that the South University students that were kidnapped, they're still bandits. And the parents came out protesting yesterday. Let's hope that something good will come out of this real quick. Let's come down and run through some stories here. Oh, former spokesperson to the president has a memoir. They're going to release it soon. But Justice Minister pushes for non-custodial sentencing is on page 7. And then FG takes over completed second Niger bridge. So hopefully those traveling for the Christmas holidays or the festive period have a smooth and easier drive through that access. But that's it from leadership.
And up next this morning is the Guardian newspaper that, puts out its big story that compels you to do a double take, and perhaps rethink some of our choices as a country. Listen to this. Kano, Sokoto, others spend 53.2 billion naira on scholarships abroad. And you find the infographic there, breaking it down for you state by state. Let's go over it together. Over 120,000 foreign scholarships by 5 states in 10 years, Ayo. Between 2013 and 2023, Kano spent 36.5 billion naira sponsoring about 115,288 students abroad. Borno spent 588 million naira between 2020 and 2023 on 180 students. Katsina spent 625 million naira between 2018 and 2023 on 180 students. And Adamawa in 2023 sponsored 120 students. Sokoto spent 1.4 billion naira between 2016 and 2022 on 4,600 students. And there you have it, just at the top right-hand corner of that infographic, 4 million out-of-school children. I'm not quite sure if it's, putting together all of the out-of-school children in these 4 to 5 states combined. And if we checked, the multidimensional poverty statistics, you'll probably find the highest number of states with multidimensional poverty amongst the states, or these states combined. And then you also see that one of these states, also has some of its students merged in states, in countries outside Nigeria, where they have outstanding fees that have not been settled, and they've been sponsored by their states to embark on scholarships abroad.
I had reason to, in the course of last week, look at the website of the NERDC. That's the organization in the education sector in Nigeria saddled with the responsibility of coming up with the curriculum for all of our schools, primary, secondary, maybe even university as well. And I was looking for a forward-thinking curriculum, something that looks like, okay, we are planning for the future. From the very primary, from primary 1 down to JS to SS.
Senior secondary.
I was looking for something. Well, I wasn't able to go through them all in detail, but I was looking at the headlines, the subjects themselves. I think, even to the university level, I was looking for something I really couldn't find. And no matter how innovative you are as a school proprietor, your chances are limited because you have to go by what is within the country. Yes, we also still hear people tell us, in the country, that it is not true that our academics isn't good enough in Nigeria, that if you go abroad, you can still use what you have to elevate and all of that. But this is the same Nigeria that people came to from all over the world to study. Lecturers did that thing that they do, go on sabbatical.
The exchange
they
program.
They left their countries to come to Nigeria for their sabbaticals. Does that still happen today? So it is not too much of a surprise what is leading the front page of
the Guardian
newspaper this morning. Don't also forget that even schools, Nigerians they go outside of Nigeria to countries as close as Benin Republic.
To study. Absolutely.
Now, it is scholarships we are talking about here now. So, I don't even know what to make
beyond the contradiction in the value in education that Nigeria offers. For me, what's more compelling is the poverty rate in these countries, and this amount of money that has been spent on education scholarships abroad. It begs the question, and it compels us to rethink our options as a country. Well, you also have right under the big story on the front page, over 80 dead as Army admits error in 10th accidental bombing in 2 years. RAN is on my mind, and the Army had better provide better explanations about what exactly has gone wrong. Will compensation be paid to the families of those who have lost their loved ones in this avoidable disaster? Let's leave it there for the Guardian newspaper.
The Nigerian Observer is leading with that COP22 story. FG funding 422 delegates to COP28 summit, not 1,411, says minister. Well, if you're wondering how that became, you can go to channelstv.com. The story is right there for you with the video, so you know the look on the minister's face. I'm not going to let anything out. You go see it for yourself. The details of that story, of course, you find on the front page, and it continues on page 2. Above the nameplate, Obaseki ERA unveil innovative project to revolutionize emergency response in Edo. That's also right there on the front page, and the story continues on the inside pages. And that vexed issue of the Nigerian Army is also there, right beside the nameplate. Nigerian Army owns up to Kaduna airstrike. That story is on page 2. That's the Nigerian Observer this morning.
Kaduna, 50 killed in Army's aerial bombing of bandits. 53 injured. Air Force denies involvement. Governor Sani orders probe of Kaduna drone attack, offers survivors free Medicare. Tudumbiri's bombing regrettable. Can. Arewa Youth Group condemns mistaken bombing. It was by Allah's mercy that we survived. Survival. NEF demands investigation. So, and then you go to the bottom strip, they talk about the budget there. Why we passed 2024 budget for second reading. Subscribe to Abaribe. And some of the writers here says, I've not seen lawmakers debating budget without detailed breakdown. Ningi. Senate Appropriations Committee meets with MDAs, stakeholders, others today. So, did they pass the budget without detailed breakdown? So, that back and forth is going on now in terms of what exactly is going on here. So, is it just a blanket passage before they even saw details? Is that how it works? Is that why we are where we are today? As they say. Okay, that's Vanguard this morning.
Well, Business Day is what I have here, and they're looking at the refineries. Remember that story of the 60 or 6,000 licenses left or out there and nothing? Well, they have this. Port Harcourt Refinery, December deadline heaps pressure on NNPCL. And the company says, we will deliver as promised. Company insists. That's the writer to that story. So, December is around the corner. He's here. We're in December already. So, is it?
No, it's around the corner.
Okay, so let's just say end of December is around the corner, and hopefully the Port Harcourt refinery will be up and running. But besides, I have this one. Nigeria's trade surplus hits 5-year high on weaker naira. Well, and below that, Peter Obi insists 2024 budget is prodigal. Or then this one on COP28 leaders, fossil fuel claim sparks debate. That's it from Business Day.
Okay, there you go. So that ends it when you look at the dailies here then, I guess.
Just one more paper this morning. Let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper. Do we still have the Vanguard?
Oh, we're taking the Vanguard.
We're taking the Vanguard.
Look at the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. And what do you have on its front page? The Nigerian military draws flags for frequent friendly fire. That's the lead of the Daily Independent newspaper today. Army claims responsibility for bombing innocent Kaduna villages. Over 85 killed, dozens injured, search and rescue still ongoing. It's avoidable result of intelligence failure, tactical incompetence. Who said that? Find the details on page 29. Kaduna governor orders investigation into killing, calls for calm. And right beneath that picture, registration of underage voters. Court gives INEC 90 days to hand over officials for prosecution. asks it to remove underage voters from register within 90 days. How in the universe are we going to do that?
I thought INEC explained that it did a cleanup of the voters register ahead of the presidential election when a lot of questions were being asked about strange names on the voters register. So how come we're having this?
The questions are still being asked.
They're never going to go away.
There was one analyst we had, he said, look, we need to clean up that register because how many people have been reported to have died or consequently removed from the register as a result?
So when we clean up, some unscrupulous elements have access to the register again and again.
I don't know about that one, but hey,
INEC needs to provide some explanation in that regard.
Well, I guess INEC is gonna have to answer to the court. That's the story is right beneath the picture and above the nameplate. Reps to make public participation in budget process compulsory. That's according to the Speaker.
Promises should be kept, Mr. Speaker.
Well, the Speaker has spoken. As the Daily Independent this morning.
And that ends our newspaper review segment this morning. We have quite a lot to unpack for you this morning. We're sure you don't want to miss it. So stick around. We'll be right back.